boy, OK? Everything is oh Hold up, pre-production fucking up. Yo, it's good, everybody. So hope everybody had a good, productive week. I hope everybody got money. I hope everybody can pay their rent. It is the first, or we just passed the first. I hope everybody paid their rent, and for the people who aren't, just keep your head up for a brighter day. It's gonna come. You can only be down for so long. At least this is what we have to think about and being positive and optimistic. I can't imagine what it would feel like unable to provide for my family due to COVID. So I never put that thought in my head. If you have 2 arms, 2 legs, go out and make something happen for yourself. Don't let what's going on now keep you down. Figure out a trade, figure out a hobby, figure out something new. As unsympathetic as it sounds, when all the coal mines started to close down and those people said learn how to code, the truth behind the fact of the matter is we have to keep evolving to stay with the tide. You can't fall behind the tide because then you get stuck in a riptide and we might never see you again. Hey yo, I hope everybody's been enjoying my my gaming post. I think I named it today too. I named it like I'm just playing games because I'm bored or some shit like that. But my commentary, like when I watch it back, I'm like, yo, you a funny motherfucker, yo. Like, like I don't need a whole crowd to entertain myself. I'll tell you one thing. John Leguizamo taught me I'm a guy I could always play with myself. So today, I went to the doctors. Now, see, unlike like my man Quest, right, or like my man Eddie, like both of those two gentlemen, they're the type to be on top of their teeth. You know, they go to the dentist very often. I've known them to pay a grip to fix issues with their teeth, because your teeth are like, you know, your teeth don't grow back. Once they're gone, they're gone, and it really sucks when you're missing one. You know, like once they're gone, they're gone. So like I appreciate people that do things like that, that go to the doctors, take care of their teeth, take care of their mouths. I myself personally, I fall victim to not doing that. And I know a lot of people don't. And it's no excuse. I have insurance. You know, I have insurance. I all it is a phone call away to book an appointment. I was using COVID as my excuse for the past like 4 months. I was using COVID as my excuse to say, oh, I can't get an appointment, or I'm not standing outside on an urgent care with the line around the block. It was all an excuse. At the end of the day, you gotta go to the doctors. You gotta take care of yourself. The reason I went is because I threw my back out at work, and I threw my back out so severely that I was immobilized. I couldn't move. When shit like that happens to you, it's fucking freaky. It's scary. I never want to imagine it happening to anybody, let alone me again. So funny shit is that, so I get to the emergency room, right? I get to the emergency room, and you know, emergency rooms are always a hit or a miss, right? They can be crowded, you could be there forever, you could be there quick. Fuck that. I got seen in the emergency room within the hour of me walking in there, because I walked my cripple's ass up to the door. I was in pain, don't get me wrong, but, and I apologize, this might come back to bite me in the ass, because if anybody sees it and works in an emergency room and sees my face, they're going to be like, that guy's full of shit. But I did fake the funk. I do that a lot of the times when I go to the emergency room. I feel like you go to the emergency room, you have a true emergency. Your fucking arm's been severed, you can't breathe, you're dying. I threw out my back. Now, as severe as that is, and as much as pain as I was in, I know that I could have dealt with the pain for another 4 or 5 hours. I could have dealt with it. You know what I mean? I could have, if I needed to wait in the emergency room for 4 or 5 hours, because it's possible. It's logical. I'm sure we've been there before. Like, you can wait in the emergency room for hours on end. It's like central bookings. They forget about you. Like, dead ass. So, whenever I've gone to the emergency room, I fake the funk. I start crying. I bend over and hurl over in pain. I stutter, like I can't even like respond to you because I'm in pain. I put on this entire act, and the hospital didn't even, like, yes, oh, I'm sorry, sir, we're gonna get somebody right on it. It took a gentleman that walked in with a broken wrist like this. His hand was like this. Hand was broken. He saw me in the corner in a wheelchair, like, oh, and the guy comes out of nowhere. My savior. I believe he was a Colombian guy with glasses. I forget your name, so if you ever see this, thank you. He went ahead and, yo, this kid got a broken fucking wrist. This kid's in pain. He's crying over here. What the fuck are y'all doing? Bugging out. And then the lady turns around and goes, sir, he's 31 years old. He's not a kid. Yeah, fuck you, bitch. But he looked out for me. He put on that whole stunt, looked out for me. I got seen within the hour. And then, unbeknownst to me, maybe half an hour in, he came in and he got seen. He's walking around with a fucking broken hand like it's nothing, thugged out. I fucking love my Spanish people. That's how we do. Look, I got 36 stitches on my hand right here. 36 stitches. I walked home 8 blocks, bleeding all over the place. My friend's driving my car. Like, yo, you all right? I think so. Yo, look at Mexicans. They get hit in the head. Fucking take that shit and run, yo. But we go through some shit as Latinos, and I appreciate that man for doing that to me because his hand was broken. My back was broken, but his hand was legitimately broken. And he said, nah, fuck that. This guy needs help. That's called doing the right thing. So when I got seen by the doctor, he hits me with a oxycodone, I think. Oxycodone. He hits me with like a muscle relaxer in my arm, a needle. And then they hit me with this big-ass Ben Gay patch in my lower back. Obviously, you have to make an appointment, see your doctor. I took that opportunity, and I missed my appointment several weeks ago to do something. And I've been eating myself up over it. Like, damn, man, why you miss an appointment? You shouldn't miss an appointment for yourself. You know, now you got to wait because now the waiting list to see a doctor is a little bit long. It's not like you could call them and see him within the week. You might have to wait 2 to 3 because there's so many people going to the doctors, and I don't think they're allowing so much capacity through the day to be in their doctor's offices. Obviously, because that's probably the number one place where sicknesses fucking stick to the walls and shit, like cigarette smoke. So I took it upon myself to also get a physical. A physical consists of the doctor checking your lungs, and I went to a EKG specialist. My primary doctor is in the same building, and my primary doctor wasn't available, so I got the specialist. So they take it upon themselves, since I'm the first time patient there, and it's an EKG place. I had to get an EKG done to look over my heart. That's where they stick these little things on you, and then they stick up like a pulse machine that says, I guess it sends electric signals, and then it gets a reading back, or your body sends electric signals, and it reads it in the machine. Long story short, my heart's beating slower than normal. I think I've always had that problem, but he's asking me questions. You know, do you do any drugs? Yeah, smoke weed, a little mushrooms, a little ecstasy here and there. Yeah, ain't kill nobody. You know, do you drink? How often do you drink? Have your father had a heart attack before? What's your family's health? All these questions he's asking me, and as I'm answering them, my brain starts to kick. I'm like, damn, that shit runs in my family. Damn, that shit runs in my family. Damn, like all these things start going in, and then he goes, you know, your heart's beating a little slow, but all your scans look good. He took my blood, stabbed me, took like 2 ounces of blood off of me. He said, but you need to stop smoking. He said, you're 31, and now you will start to feel and see the effects of what cigarette smoke will do to you. And I'm so stupid because, you know, I know it's a dirty habit I picked up with my friends, and my stepfather smokes, my father smokes, you know, like, I know it's a dirty habit I picked up. But I'm so dumb. My sister died from cancer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm at like I sit here like brain blown with some of the decisions I make. Like and you know, alcohol is not always okay, but yeah, it's okay to have some weed every now and then. But cigarettes, blatantly, what it's made out of, the wrap it's made out of, the chemicals, the nicotine in it, how the tobacco is processed, those things are straight bad for you. And I induced them. I smoked them and I induced them. So it's one thing he made very clear to me, that I need to stop smoking. He said, you're healthy, long as my blood work comes back okay, which it should. I'm healthy as of now. 31-year-old, I'm healthy, I'm good, there's nothing wrong with me. I left that doctor's office feeling better that I did something for myself. I also have a dentist appointment next week on Wednesday, so I'm going to get these ugly ass teeth cleaned, you know, maybe even ask to take steps to maybe get these motherfuckers straightened. You know what I mean? Like, I know my gap is me, and I see Chris Rivers, Big Pun's son, and There ain't no gap slowing that man down. You know what I mean? Like, you are who you are. You be who you be. You look how you want to look and feel how you want to feel. Never make somebody make you feel a certain way. So I shouldn't allow a gap between my teeth run any type of insecurities in my life. But let's call a spade a spade. I would like to look even better than good. You know what I mean? So whether it become to working out, eating healthier, stop smoking cigarettes, or getting my teeth fixed, cleaned, make my smile a little bit brighter, I think that doctors are more than necessary in this world for our living arrangements. And we should appreciate them much more. Instead of cursing them out or getting mad at them when they offer you bad news. I want to apologize and send a formal apology to all the doctors that I've ever said anything bad about, cursed out, or I put hands on. I want to apologize because I know the job you do it's an irregular job. I know that it comes with the territory of having to be insensitive at times. I was on the other end of that spectrum asking my own mom, who's a nurse, yo, how could this doctor just tell me that these things just happened to my sister and he doesn't even bat an eyebrow. He doesn't even bat an eyelash. Like, it doesn't affect him. And my mom had to tell me, like, we can't make this job so personal. Once we start making the job personal, it does something to them. As doctors and nurses, it does something to them. It takes a piece of them, time in and time out, to watch people die, watch people be sick. And I know you got your people that walk out of there, but for the most part, everybody got something wrong with them. And to take that job to be the person and tell a person, yo, you got something wrong with you. This is wrong with you. That's wrong with you. Yo, you got to fix it. Yo, you're dying. You'll be dead in 6 months. For the doctor that I almost knocked out when he was putting the 36 stitches in my hand, and I kept feeling the pain, and he said that he put enough needles in me, and I still felt the pain for that. I'm sorry. I threatened your life and almost killed you. I'm sorry. For the doctors, and this is going to be a double-edged sword, and I'm going to end it on this because it's a little bit of a high-low note. But when my sister had cancer in the hospital, I felt like they treated her like a guinea pig. And maybe that is the fact. Maybe it isn't the fact. Maybe we are still so unaware of how to treat cancer that, unfortunately, we're still in process of it. So some people do become guinea pigs. Maybe not every cancer is the same as another cancer, even though they have the same name. So they don't all have the same resolutions. Not the same chemotherapy or the same medication is going to fix my sister that would have fixed your sister, or your cousin, or your uncle, or your 60-year-old grandma, or your 50-year-old mom who beat breast cancer. You understand? Like, I know that there's stories out there, and that's due to the fact of the medical help that we have. I have to send appreciation to the medical help that we have in this time, in 2020, in this 21st century, because we're imagine all the people that have died. Imagine the Spanish flu in 1918, where all those people didn't have masks. I think over 1 million people died. We've only hit like 186,000 with COVID. And then most of them, they don't even count them as COVID, if you remember correctly, because they do it to get that federal funding. So if a person died during COVID, marked as COVID. My grandfather, and my great-grandma. One died with a colon infection. The other died of old age. I guaranteed they're marked as COVID just to get the federal funding, to put more money into these hospitals. I know that there's crooks everywhere. I know there's some schmuck fucking doctor that drives a fucking Tesla and lives in a fucking $40 million mansion and comes to work 2 times a week. I know. But for those 2 times a week, forever those people that he's saving or doing his job right for, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you getting up and going to work during these times. I appreciate you nurses, you nurses that went to the hospitals, that be in the ER around all this sick shit, and then you go the fuck home to your families to go be a mom or a dad. I appreciate you. That thank you isn't given out enough, because I have been bitter. I have been a person that has definitely been bitter over the fact that my sister passed away. You guys treated her like a guinea pig, and then all we can get is, well, it happened. You won't speak how the hematoma came out. You won't speak why the dialysis wasn't working. You won't speak why she went into a medically induced coma. You put her in that coma. But, all these things sometimes you can't give answers for. And for the night that she caught that hematoma and she was out, and I wanted answers. So I walked up into that hospital and I demanded answers. And to the doctor lady, the Asian doctor lady that I cursed out, I'm sorry I called you a bitch. At the time, I know you were just doing your job, but I just needed an answer. I just wanted to know who was supposed to be watching my sister. She's in the MICU. The MICU is where you get watched under 24-hour surveillance like you a goddamn criminal. Like Epstein's was supposed to be watched. In the MICU, you're supposed to get watched like Epstein. And what happened to Epstein? Dead, gone, killed himself, disappeared, don't matter. We don't know what happened. Same thing with my sister. I know what happened with my sister. She fell, hit her head, and that's it. How do you not notice that? How do you not notice she's not breathing? How do you not notice? You know, that's why I went in there with heat, mad. That's why I went in there to tear shit up. Because I'm like, nobody want to give me an answer? There. And once my stepfather gave me the green light, you know, that's one thing with my family. If my family's around, I try to respect as much as possible until you disrespect. But if my family gives me the green light, and I did it at 15, I did it at 22, and I just did it when my sister was alive, just 2 years ago, last year. My parents give me the green light, my family gives me the green light, I'm running you over. I don't care how big you are. And that's why they needed 3 security guards to come upstairs and walk me off the premises. I told security guards straight up, you're not a cop. You touch me, I'll lay you the fuck out. At that point, you don't want to touch the person because you don't want to get laid the fuck out. At least it would have been easy for you because at least you're in the hospital. Fucking douchebag. But see, that's how angry I get at the situation with my sister. It leads there. It's not personal. It's not personal towards the person. It's personal because of the person that I cared about. That's why it was personal. It wasn't personal towards you doctors and nurses or the security. So I want to take this time to apologize. And I want to take this time to say thank you for doing the job you do, for making patients feel better, for trying to help patients through even if there may not be a clear-cut answer for some things because it's not like doctors or machines or robots that can look in your body and things take time to heal. Don't get me wrong. But when I can see somebody that all these people that Diamond Dallas Page has worked with, and he's not a doctor, but he knows the groups and he's done the physical work to learn how to make muscle exercises with yoga and teach these people how to reuse their bodies and become and take away their inner pains by doing yogas and stretches. That shit right there is to be amended and complimented. That shit right there is, he's a doctor in his own right. So I appreciate you people that take care of us people because it's not an easy job. So thank you. With that, I'm out of here. It's your boy, OK? Everything is all holla back, y'all. I just said holla back. Ooh, ooh.